If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to take a look at 3 more players that I've really enjoyed using throughout FIFA 20. Now, these aren't necessarily players who I feel like are the best or players that I thought were ever the best at any one time, but players that really helped me out doing Road to Glories or on my main account. And we come to our first player here in 87 rated Riyad Mahrez. I think I got this guy as a red pick. I also picked him up as an inform and got rid of both of them, and now have him back again as an inform because I managed to get him out of some sort of inform pack. But he's got 5-star, 4-star, left-footed, lean body type. His lowest price at one time was 20k. His highest was 112, and his current price is around 45,000 coins. I've marked him 7 out of 10 for pure enjoyment reasons, because, and had he not had a team of the season, I think it would have been slightly higher, but his team of the season came out, and that card was just another level. And we'll get to that at some point during the series. It might get an honourable mention. I might start putting honourable mentions in the video as opposed to just these long, well, not long, but you know what I mean, these couple of minute segments of each player. I might just throw a couple of honourable mentions in there some way so that we get through a few more players. But with that being said, that's the team I had him in. It was the Road to Glory account. As you can see, I've managed to pick up Red, Wijnaldum and Robertson along the way. Mahrez at this point had either... well, he wouldn't have gone. So at this point, I don't think I had a red Mahrez. I think I got him in that 86 upgrade further along down the line. And I probably used him for about a week before I ended up packing the central Mahrez. And then, of course, they brought out another version as well. So the reason I like this card, and even now I think he's usable to a certain extent, his left foot is absolutely magic. You can get down the right-hand side and cut in on that left foot and cause so many problems. And you're not, I don't think you're going to see too much of it in this video. And the reason for that is because I was playing him on the opposite side. But I think there's a goal in particular that I'd like you to see, where he just shoots across goal, and it's just like one of those, how has that even gone in? His passing is very good, and he's one of those like sleeper players as well, where half the game he's not really doing an awful lot, and then all of a sudden, bang, goal, assist, and you've won the game. Really, really good card. I did enjoy it. And of course, the enjoyment was very good. And this is when we're in the old review breakdown screen, so we're not quite as detailed as we are these days. But still, you can see that I was recommending him for FUT Champs and saying that he was worth buying, gave him an 86 overall. Definitely worth trying out if you haven't already. Mahrez in general, that is. Now, next up, Inform Allan. This guy was and probably still is fantastic. I know there's a better version on the market. Well, not even on the market. He's an SBC, isn't he? So I know there's a better version of this card. And 4-star, 3-star is a bit of a shame. You know, it would be nice to have a 4-star weak foot. But all in all, this card, even now, it would still be semi-usable in that midfield role. 4-2-3-1, secondary midfielder. I would definitely be happy to have him in there. Now, like I said, there is a better version, so obviously that card would be the most ideal to have in your team. But if you can't afford it and you are literally on a shoestring budget, you've somehow got Allan, or you've got about 50k to spend, you need a new midfielder, he's an option. And the reason he's an option, and a very good option at that, is because he is meta. Well, he fits the meta very, very well. And that will sort of keep him higher rated, in my opinion, than a lot of other players. And that's why Tonali in the middle there is still one of those cards that can be used as well, and it's because he's extremely meta. So just bear that in mind. Now, the one thing that he's really good at, more than anything else, is positioning, but also he's very, very good at getting moves started. Just something out of nothing, gets a little pass, it doesn't look like much, but gets a little interception, plays a little pass, and there we go. We're in a forward position. We've already skipped 2 players there. We're in, we shoot, we score. And Allan was the one that created that. He didn't win the ball back, but he played a ball far enough forward to get it into the strikers, so it would allow us to obviously beat the defenders. And that's something that he does an awful lot. He's one of those unsung heroes, almost, again, kind of like Mahrez in a sense. Bit of a sleeper player. You don't really notice half the stuff that he does. But then, all of a sudden, bang, he pops up and he started a move or won the ball back. Look at that. Tenacity in the challenge, comes all the way back to try and win it. Doesn't quite get a hold of it, but does enough to put that player off. Nearly won it back in that move. In the end, we did win it back. He didn't score from it. Ball comes forward here again and again. Allan looking forward, playing a good ball. He makes himself available on the outside, bursts forward because he's not the slowest of players, despite the fact that on paper he's not particularly quick. He is like low center of gravity, short and lean, of course, so it just does make an awful lot of sense. And he fits the game so well that even now, like I said, this version of the card would still be semi-usable. Obviously, I would go for the higher rated version whenever possible. The flashback card is incredible. But again, we may touch upon that as an honourable mention. And finally, not a player that has really stood out to me as being, oh my god, he's so good, I need to talk about this guy. But definitely a player worth a little segment here. And that is going to be Hernandez. League SBC for the Spanish League. Of course, very early on, there were very few League SBCs because EA was so slow in dropping them. And the cards in return weren't particularly great. However, Hernandez is definitely an exception to that rule because he was a very good player. Not the easiest to link, I'll grant you that. And of course, the current SBC price, not that you want to get this card now, but the current SBC price is closer to 400k than anything else. He plays a good ball through there to Dembele, who, let's be honest, it's Dembele. He's not going to miss. He gets in and scores a very nice goal. But Hernandez was so fast. I mean, these days, up against certain defenders, he might not be as quick or effective. But again, look at that. A space between the defender and the attacker there was just huge, and he was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He does have a stocky body type, which isn't ideal, I grant you that, but it didn't seem to hold him back. If anything, it gave him that little bit of extra license to be able to somehow bundle his way through defenders. And it was just one of those cards that, look at that, interception, and he bursts forward, and he's just pulling away, gets into the area, shoots and scores. Doesn't need to look for that ball across goal. Doesn't need to try and ball roll the goalkeeper. He's just going to put it in from anywhere. And considering this was only an 85 rated card, I was very surprised. That's a very good goal as well. I was very surprised at how much I actually enjoyed using that Hernandez card. And some of the teams who would come up against back in the day, you know, that was like a standard team. It was typical of the time. Maybe the left back, not so much. But again, here he's in and he looks for goal and he doesn't need to try and play it. Doesn't need to try and take the keeper on. Can just finesse it into the far corner. His finishing was very, very dangerous. And he's a very good card. Even now, I still think you could have a little bit of fun with him. He wouldn't be as good as a lot of the other cards on the market, but that is still a very good goal and a very good player. That's going to bring us to the end of another 3 players. However, like I said, in the next episode, we will start doing honourable mentions. So between each player, I will mention a player that, you know, maybe I had a lot of fun with, but isn't quite worthy of this sort of long segment, because I have skipped over a couple for that reason, you know. I like, you know, players that I've kind of enjoyed, but at the same time, not my favourites, so I've kind of skipped over them, but I might sort of include them, honourable mentions here or there, just to pack out the video a little bit more with a bit more information, a bit more entertainment, if that makes sense. But anyway, if there's any player on the list that you've used and you still use them today, let me know. That would be interesting, because I do think that like the likes of Allan and stuff, you could probably still get away with now if you're playing in Rivals, for sure. But if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index. The game changed. Download the app now.